Happy New Year's Eve, my beauty queens, and I thought I would end my Vlogmas month with a fun video with my sister. She was going out tonight, and I actually filmed this, edited it, and did this voiceover. That way I could put it up on actual New Year's Eve. So, 3 things. 1, I am not a makeup artist. I've said this in many videos. I have no professional training. I just love doing everyone's makeup for special occasions. Number 2, this is the type of makeup my sister likes. She likes grungy. She likes black. She likes over-the-top makeup. This is her. Black is her favorite color. She's not necessarily goth, but she's more like, let's say, 80s glam. You know, like 80s glam rock? That's my sister in a nutshell. So like I said, I am not a makeup artist. My blending skills aren't the best. Black is very, very hard to do, but I thought this turned out really beautiful. And number 3, say what you want about me, but please be kind to my sister because she is a gem and she was nice enough to let me record her. And this is just what she likes for makeup. So that being said, let's move on and have some fun. I didn't keep the audio in because who the heck knows what we were talking about. Probably nothing that made any sense. So I thought I would do a fun voiceover. I ended up using this Juvia's palette because, like I said, she wanted black and she wanted shimmer. That's just her style. She wears leather. She is such the opposite of me. You have me who is super duper duper girly. Then you have her who is more, like I said, 80s glam rock. And then my middle sister who is either a bum and dresses very, very bummish, I guess. I don't know what the right word is. Like she wears her husband's clothes that are 3 sizes too big, or she dresses like a hippie child, flower child. It just depends. She is definitely our goofy middle sister. But right here, I'm just blending that black. This palette actually surprisingly blended really, really well. You'll see that I go in and I just start to get the base of the eyeshadow look going. I wasn't sure where I was going with it, so then you'll see that I'll transition into doing her face makeup, and then, like I said, I'll go back into blending her eyeshadow. You'll see throughout the video. Since we have such time, since we have a lot of time in this video, I thought that I would just tell you some things about my sister and I because we are very, very close. All three of me and my sisters are very close, I should say, but especially her and I. Her name is Hannah, and she is 22. She's about to be 23 on January 13th. She was born in 2000. So every year that it is how old she's going to be for the rest of her life. How amazing is that? You'll never, ever forget how old you are. So here I am just blending. So I am about 11 and a half years older than Hannah and 10 years older than Gabby. So there's quite a bit of an age gap. My mother had me at 20 and then went on to have them in her early 30s. They were very planned. I was a big surprise here. And she really, really wanted these 2 girls. I was always more of a mother figure towards them. I babysat them a lot growing up, even when they were newborns, and I was very young and had no idea what I was doing. But you know what? It was a different time. My mom was a single mother, and she worked a lot, and we were left together. So, of course, we became very, very close. And I think because of the age gap, we really got to experience something special and different, and it left out that resentment that a lot of siblings have because there was such a big age gap, and I just fit into that mother role very, very easily. So the funny thing is that Hannah and I never got along growing up. Even though I was much older, her and I just bantered a lot, and I picked on her a lot. I wasn't the best sister, but I was the older sister, if you know what I mean. And then when she was about, I'm going to say 12 years old, something really awful had happened in my life, and this little girl stepped up. I'm not kidding you. She came and lived with me, and at 12 years old, she didn't take care of me, but she helped get my life back together, and she was a big rock, and it was a lot of responsibility for a 12-year-old, and that's just who she is. She is a caretaker, and she loves to say she holds me and my middle sister by the shirt tails. Otherwise, we'd run in traffic because we're kind of flighty, and she's very type A, very responsible. She goes to work every day, works 40 hours a week, doesn't miss work. She makes sure she gets her hours correctly. She makes sure she gets her holiday Hours, correct. She does everything by the book. She goes to the doctors when she's supposed to. She doesn't miss anything. She doesn't miss a beat. Very reliable, very responsible. I have trusted her with my daughter since she was a very little girl because she's just been responsible her whole life. Almost too responsible, where she does not know how to let loose. She has been through so much. So, like I said, around 12 years old, I would have been about 24. She came to live with me for a very short time, about 6 months, just to help me out because I was just going through so much in my life. And she really just was a rock for me at such a young age. Too much responsibility for such a young little girl. And then she would go back and forth living with me and living with my mom till she was about 15, when she permanently became mine and I became her legal guardian when our mom passed away. And this poor girl was there the day our mother passed away in our home. She saw that and had to live through that. It was a big traumatic event in her life, and I think that has molded her into the adult she is. She unfortunately and sadly lives with such guilt, and this girl just doesn't give herself a break. And I just always look at my sisters and will never understand how people don't want to just surround themselves around them, because they're funny and smart and caring. And no matter what has happened to her, she has never turned to drugs or alcohol. She's responsible. Like I said, she works, she pays her few little bills. She lives with our grandparents right now. She did move out of my home just to be closer to her job, and now she's looking for a place to live. And then my middle sister is married and she got her dream job. So things seem to really be looking up for us. But yes, Hannah is our A1. She is a very special girl, and I really hope that I am doing her justice by telling you how wonderful she is. So here I am just cleaning up her eye makeup so I can kind of see what I need to work on, because like I said, I am not the most skilled in black, and right now it looks a little wild. She does suffer from severe cystic acne. She has her entire life. Nothing seems to help but the sun, believe it or not. The summertime, you would never know she had acne, and the winter really, really plays a toll on her particular skin. She's also very oily. So what I do is I set the makeup throughout the entire time just to keep it on as long as possible without her having to go in and doing touch-ups. She gets very oily in her T-zone, and like I said, she has a lot of acne under the skin that's painful and sore. Right now her skin looks really, really good, but unfortunately as well, she has some terrible scarring, and I know that's a source of, it takes away from her confidence, which I don't know why, but I also don't suffer from acne, but I am very sympathetic because I know how upsetting it is for her. So I just go in and I keep blending and blending. I have no idea what she's doing here. Probably showing me on her phone. But, I guess she was showing me a picture of she had a high school girlfriend that used to do these eyebrows, you guys, that were so funny. She would do these big wing liner and these eyebrows, and I asked if I could see a picture of it because I forgot about this girl's eyebrows. She was the cutest little thing, and she'd wear these big giant eyebrows, and we all had a good laugh when she became a little bit older and realized how over the top they were. So yeah, like I said, I'm just blending away because you can't blend black. You just blend black and black and black, and you keep blending it and adding more and taking away and adding more. And here I decided to go in with some foundation. It's the NARS foundation. Now, you guys, she likes her foundation very, very light. I don't like it. I like to go a little darker. I feel like a shade darker will give you more coverage and hide any flaws, but she likes it a lighter. So we just went with a lighter one. And here I was showing her this putty. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. This is perfect for someone like her who has large pores and scarring. It looked gorgeous, and you'll see her face will start to transform, and she'll start to look all dolled up and beautiful. Okay, you guys, so I was just thinking of some stories that I can tell you. Like I had said, she had lived with us since she was about 12, on and off, and then permanently when she came in at 15. And I went through everything with her. I enrolled her in high school. Well, she had started at a different high school, and then we enrolled her into like a vocational high school for all types of art and like digital art, because she's an artist. She is an absolute artist. I've shown some of her work here before, and she is super talented. And right now she does do small commissions, which is really neat. And I will link her, either her TikTok or Instagram or both, down below for you guys, so you can check out some of her artwork, or if you want to commission her for anything. I don't know. Don't be surprised if she gets a little flabbergasted, because she is very what's the right word? Maybe a little socially awkward, but she does do beautiful artwork. I always tell her that she sells herself a little short, that she should be charging a lot more, because it is incredible the things that this girl can do. But yes, I ended up enrolling her in a different school when I got guardianship of her, to get her a fresh start in a new school, and she excelled really well there. She ended up in national honors. My other sister did as well. She ended up graduating with straight, well, I guess A's and B's, but she did really well. Mostly A's, I'm going to say. And like I said, she never turned to drugs or alcohol when she was struggling. What she did was she took everything out on her hair, you guys. She would cut her hair, she would dye her hair all kinds of crazy colors, and then she wanted piercings. And I thought, you know what, God or the universe, whoever I was at the time thinking of talking to, you know, if this kid just wants to take this out on piercings and hair, I'm very, very fortunate. And that's what we did. When she turned 16, I took her to get her belly button pierced, and then the following year I took her to get her septum pierced. No tattoos till she was 18. And let me tell you guys, we went through every stage of makeup and hair that you can imagine. And I just encouraged her along the way, because the most important thing to me in my life, I couldn't imagine not being wanted or being a part of my two sister and my daughter's life. That is the most important thing to me, is to be a role model and to be wanted and be included in things. It's so important to me to be included in things in the future here. And it's just something that I look forward to. So I do anything to be just supportive. I am mother figure when I have to be, but these girls are adults, and I feel like I've set them up to do things in life the right way. Now, she graduated high school and went right over to a community college. She turns out she did not like it. She hated it. But for me, she finished with an associate's in, I believe, just general studies. And that really made me proud of her, because I know school was not for her. She's more hands-on. She likes like trade work, learning. And right now she has just been working her 40 hours a week job, and she likes it right now. Until she finds something else, I'm okay with that. I'm going to support my girls no matter what they want to do. Her dream is to become a tattoo artist, and she's put applications in around town at an apprentice. Sorry, I couldn't get it out, which would be ideal for her. And she really is so talented that she could definitely excel and do that. And I really hope someday she's able to follow her dreams. But right now she is working retail, and she doesn't mind it, and that's okay with me. As long as she is a happy, healthy, and obeys the law and respects people, I'm okay with whatever they choose to do. But yes, she is right now yelling at me because she thinks I forgot a spot, but I think it was like a little dry patch. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to warm up her face. As you can see, that foundation covered her face gorgeously. She looks flawless right now, in my opinion, but it definitely is ghostly. And she has a lot of real estate to be nice, like on her forehead. So she does have a little bit of a bigger forehead. So she likes me to really warm that up for her. But I was so nervous because her foundation was so light, and that I knew she was going to wear black lipstick, and I knew she wanted to wear the black eyeshadow. So I was just going in to really work that product in and bring it up in the hairline so it wasn't too orangey on her. The thing is that I don't have like a makeup kit where I'm prepared to do other people's makeup. So everything I'm using is for my skin and for what I like. So I'm trying to be very aware of her being very different than me. Her skin tone's very different. She's Italian. We have the same exact mother. So I don't consider us half sisters. I know other people might, but if we lived in the same body, well, we shared, well, what is it? I guess we all grew in the same body. I think that is pretty damn close. But her father did raise me since I was 4 years old, but she's Italian, I'm Hungarian. So we have a little bit of a different skin tone. Hers is very olivey and does have a little bit of yellow in her skin tone. I pull much more neutral. So as you can see, I am just blending it. That foundation is really nice. I will link whatever it was. I don't know it offhand. It's one of the NARS ones. It almost blended like a serum, but it was pretty full coverage. As you can see, I'm just having her look to make sure she didn't hate it. And I do go in and continue to blend for her. And right here, I was asking her what powder she used. She loves this Laura Mercier. She raves about it, but I told her to stop using it with a brush, to try to press it into the skin, and that will not only set the makeup, but it will erase a lot of the fine lines and kind of press it into where she has scarring, and it will also keep her from being oily throughout the night because she was going to some type of party with some of her girlfriends. So I'm just really, really working that product in. So another funny story. I have to tell you, this is my absolute favorite story of Hannah of all time. To this day, I laugh. So every year, you know how kids take school pictures. Every year, poor Hannah's school pictures kind of always turned out a little different, funny but different. Like one year she had it was probably 10th grade, and I had dyed her hair this dark forest green for her, and stupidly we picked a dark black background. So for the whole when we finally got the pictures, it looked like a floating head. Not only did she have bright green hair, or dark green, like forest green hair, and a black background, she wore a black shirt. So all you saw was this head. So I guess she was probably in 5th grade, and a couple of her friends, this was before she got glasses, had dared her to wear these glasses in her school pictures. You guys, they didn't even have lenses in them. So when we got the pictures back, my mom said to her, Hannah, whose glasses are these? Like, why the hell are you wearing glasses? And they don't have lenses. She said the kids dared me and thought I wouldn't do it. And when the teacher asked why she hadn't been wearing her glasses, she said she wore contacts. You guys, I know it might not sound funny to you, but if you knew this kid, it was one of the funniest things when we got her pictures back and she was wearing some random pair of glasses without lenses. That's just the type of personality she has. She's very funny and witty. My one sister, my middle sister, has a very dry sense of humor. And for some reason, her and my sense of humor clash because I have a more of a sense of humor of Hannah, where we are very funny and we say goofy things. And then my sister Gabrielle has a much drier sense of humor. She says things that some people will look at you and be like, ooh, that is, what's wrong with that girl? But because they were so close in age, my sisters are only about 16 months apart. So they grew up almost like twins. They just get each other, you know what I mean? Here I was just going in and setting underneath the bronzer because it is a cream bronzer, and then I did go in with my just regular bronzer, and then I wanted to kind of really define that. She really wanted a smoked out smoky line. I did go off camera and do underneath her waterline and her tight line because her eyes water really bad. So here I am just smoking that out with really dark black. That black is so pigmented in that Juvia's Place, and it has this really beautiful charcoal color that I've never seen up in the top pan. As you can see, it's like a charcoal color, and I've never seen anything like it. It's really beautiful, and I just go in and really smoke that out. And then I realized, oh no, this brush has a lot of black on it, and it just got bigger and bigger. But you will see that I will go in and really clean up not only her under eye, but the corners and the side. She does not like a sharp corner on her. She has very heavy hooded brows and a heavy lid, so she likes it a little more rounded. She always raises her eyebrows. I keep telling her, stop raising your eyebrows, you're going to give yourself wrinkles, but she says she looks so mean if she doesn't, and I tell her to stop lifting her brows, but she does have a very heavy brow and a very hooded lid. So I'm just going in and lifting it a little bit, but she does not like her ends sharp. She likes them more blown out and rounded for whatever reason. I guess she just thinks it looks a little bit better on her. So that's just what I'm doing. And then for some reason, the color pigment wasn't sticking right there, but I was able to fix it. And then I went in with powder. We were contemplating back and forth with a winged liner. And right here, we were just trying to match the two eyes a little more because she is a perfectionist. She's an artist. She's a perfectionist. I'm not so much of a perfectionist, but she is. That's why she cannot bake. Let me tell you something. She turns into Bakezilla if she's trying to do any baking or cooking. You better get out of the kitchen. You better get out of the way because she cannot go with the flow. Everything has to be perfect. The same with her drawings and paintings. So she's like, okay, we're good. So I went over, I'm not sure what I was thinking. Oh, I was going to leave it matte, but then I realized I had this blue shimmer shade. And I was like, you know what? Let's just try a little bit because she does not like shimmer because of her hooded eyes. So at first I was going to do glitter. And then I was like, wait a minute. I have this blue shimmer. Let's put it over the black and just see. And she fell in love. I have a cute little clip of her putting lipstick at the end where you really get to look at the eye look. I know it's not going to be for everyone, but I tried really, really hard to make it look beautiful. This blue over the black blew me out of the water. It was so gorgeous. And she's like, you know what? Pack it on. I never do shimmer. It's New Year's Eve. Pack it on. Luckily, she's not a big drinker, so I don't have to worry too much tonight. She's just going out with her girlfriends to a party, and here I am putting that glitter on. Like I said, she usually doesn't let me, but she did tonight. So she's just going to have some drinks and eat food with girlfriends, which made me very, very happy. So I'm just packing it on here, and you can see that color is stunning. Absolutely stunning. She said just add a little more, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just fixing it, and it just turned out so beautiful. And then in the next clip, I believe I'm trying to convince her to let me do like a bright orange blush because she wanted to do this like muted pink. And I'm like, you do that all the time. Let's do something funky. And I end up loving it on her. So right here, I'm just, like I said, going back and forth, trying to make sure both eyes are as symmetric as possible, even though it's almost impossible. There, she's showing you how pretty it looks. It made her eyes look like ocean blue. I couldn't believe how much that blue in that shimmer brought out her eye color. And she does not like her brows done. You guys, one time I did her eyebrows and woo, she was ready to kill me. So I only do what she likes. I don't, that's what any makeup artist should do. You should do whatever that makes that person feel beautiful and comfortable. She already has very full, very voluptuous eyebrows, so I don't need to do much but just set them in place so they don't go anywhere. Now, like I said, she is very, very oily, so her skin will eat up this powder. So that's why I can get away with using a lot of powder on her. So I just went through, dusted it off, and then I reset with a little bit of that Charlotte Tilbury powder that I have. Here she is trying to convince me to use mauve, and she's very mad when I said orange. But eventually she allows me to use my Patrick Star One Size Beauty in Firestarter. Here it is. I'm showing her and she's like, oh, what the heck's wrong with that? I'm like, oh, it's a cream a cream blush. And she's like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm not going to use the cream on you because we already set your face. So I said, I'm going to start out low. Where do you want it? I said, do you want it lifted or do you want to look more full? And she already, for whatever reason, doesn't like her cheeks. I'm like, Hannah, people pay to have cheeks like yours, full cheeks. I said, when you're older, because you have such a full face, you will look youthful because that's what people pay to have is cheekbones and a fuller face. That's what filler is. And I was like, you'll be thankful one day. So I just brought it up into the temple area a little bit. And then I do realize that it was a little heavy for her. She loved it. But I said, let me just blend it a little bit for you because it does look a little orangey, I guess, and I didn't want her to look silly. Plus, she wanted to really go crazy with the highlight, so I just blended it. Now, the highlighter she ended up using was from Kimchi. So growing up, when she was younger, we were obsessed with drag queens. Still are. We just don't have the time to watch it together. We were RuPaul fanatics, and Kimchi was one of our favorites. So was Katya. We loved them all. And she ended up buying this, and it was actually a really beautiful, subtle highlighter. and we just mixed the two colors and put it on. She ended up buying this at Ulta Beauty. I haven't seen it at my Ulta, but I also hadn't been looking for it, and I loved the packaging, very Too Faced. So here I am setting all of the makeup so it kind of just stays throughout the night. I had previously set her face, and then this is the end of the video where she's putting on her black lipstick. So I hope you guys have a safe, happy new year. I hope you liked my Vlogmas. You guys, I think I'm going to start incorporating vlogs more into my videos, so definitely let me know what you think. Do you think I should, or do you like my sit down videos? But I really love vlogging. I think it's just me. So like I said, here she is putting her lipstick. Excuse my dirty mirror, please. I did not mean, well, I guess I didn't realize how dirty it was from spraying things, spraying hairspray, but here she is meticulously putting on her black lipstick. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed getting to know us a little more, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.